There she is. Good morning. Hey, here we go.
All right, I'm going to stand a little bit forward. Actually, I'm going to stand a little bit backwards. Good morning, everybody. Sunday Fun Day is underway. Yes. To get started, I'm going to come all the way to the back of my mat. And I'm going to find my feet, the width of the mat. I'm going to bring straightness to the legs. I'm going to take a nice chance to kind of do a little bit of discovery of weight in the feet. So I'd like you to take your heels and try to push them away in the center line of your mat. And I'd like you to relax that push. I'd like you to take the ball of each big toe and make sure you have an exerted force down into the mat. And then I'd like you to try to rotate the feet inwards towards the center line of the mat. Between the two, the outward push to the heel, and then the relaxation of that, and then the driving down of the ball of each big foot and the rotation internally. We're going to alternate between the two. So go push out, relax, drive, rotate in, relax, opposite, push out, and then one more time in, and then hold on that. Let's make 3 contact points in the foot. Ball of the big toe, small toe, and the heel of each foot. I'd like you to find a weight distribution equal to both. So imagine you're like a leaning tower piece. I want you to bring straightness to the body. And kind of lean forward. So you're just kind of flexing through the ankle. Nothing else is moving. Kind of like a ski jumper. You've ever seen those people jumping off things? So kind of the same thing. Here's the point. Registration of weight in foot. Right now, the front part of the foot is heavily weighted. We're going to drift backwards. We don't want to topple backwards. I just want to bring an orientation of weight back into the heels where it's predominantly weighted. Now that we got that, I like to find a balance between front and the back. So just kind of oscillate forward and back. And then get an idea of what it feels like to be balanced there. And once you've achieved that, keep the legs nice and straight. And I like you to hollow out the belly. And then imagine each vertebrae of the spine getting nice and long. Draw your shoulders up to the ears. Open your palms to face forward. And kind of bring a little cupping to the fingertips. With that cupping, I'd like you to draw the elbows back. And then I'd like you to take those cupped fingers and rotate the whole palm externally away from the body. Pull the shoulders higher, rotate a little more. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, let's bring the hands out in front. Keep the fingers cupped and bring all of the tips together. So you kind of have a lobed hand. Now, elbows, let's rotate the elbows downward so they face towards the earth. And extend the arms out. Let the shoulders drift forward. Beautiful. Now, as you inhale, I'd like you to bring straightness to the legs. And I'd like you to externally rotate the heels. This is what we practiced earlier. Keep the external rotation of the heels. Draw the hips backwards. Now, as you inhale, raise the arms about eye level. And as you exhale, lower them about shoulder height. So just up and down slightly. Let's make sure we're maintaining that external rotation in the heels. And then let's hold up, eye level, drift the hips back a little more. And now next level up, raise to the top of the head, lower to eye level. Let's do that a few more times. And then bring hands over heart, stand tall. As you inhale, push your hands to the sky. As you exhale, hold all the way forward. This is our first inversion of the opportunity now to find some length, some muscles that often get shortened by sitting. And in particular, the hamstrings. So, as we remain folded, I'd like you to reestablish the balance of weight area in the feet. And then once you have that, I'd like you to bring some straightness to the knees. And then bend the knees. And then straighten. So this is a nice effective release for hamstrings. You should feel them kind of pulling closely, nice tautness to them. When your legs are almost extended straight. Now let's fold up, knees almost locked out, give you your best push.
If you can't, just imagine you're pushing your tailbone to the sky. You want to push from the heels here now. So the weight bearing is predominant for the heels as you drive those legs long and push that tailbone to the sky. Inhale, extend into a flat back. Exhale, let the body flex down towards the legs. Inhale, extend into a flat back. Exhale, pull back down, hold the ball, bend the knees. Now we have a tabletop back, lots of flexion in it. I'd like you to extend spine, lengthening out that tabletop, and then let it fold down on your thighs. And do that one more time. Now hold the extension, bring your palms up onto the shins. Your elbows are rotated inwardly, rotate them exteriorly, laying out to the sides of the body, so they're pointing away sideways. Pushing the palms to the shin, extend the spine, pull with the neck, pull with the head, get that neck nice and long, lower your butt down even more, and then push the butt up to the sky and let that body fold down while you continue to push palms into the shin. Just make sure your elbows haven't decided to rotate internally, keep them rotating externally. Now, bend the knees, push the palms, extend the spine, and try to unhinge while you keep your butt down. Take your right hand, reach it forward. Take your left hand, reach it forward. Give me a nice proud chest. As you inhale, raise the arms. As you exhale, lower the arms down, shoulder height. Inhale, raise. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale. This inhale, stand tall. Reach for the sky. As you release your breath, fold halfway forward. Let the arms fold into the body. Rotate your palms to face the earth. Now take your thumbs, spiral them to the sky, and then rotate them all the way down and all the way in. So we're going to corkscrew the arms all the way up with the thumbs, rotating all the way down and in. Do that one more time. Now, out palm, facing palm. You see when you have extend the spine, take the bend under those knees as best you can, drift the hips backwards, let the arms sweep past the legs all the way forward. Inhale, stand tall, reach for the sky. Up. Nice. Now, bring hands over hearts. Take your right foot, step it forward. So we're in a lunge type position. Let's stay up on the toes of the back foot. But I want you to take a little gather back, a little look. I want you to see how that heel is oriented. Now, inward rotation, that's when the heel is rotated in towards the center. Exterior rotation is when the heel is rotated out to the side. I like you to try to aim the heel straight up and down. So it's neither exterior or interiorly rotated. So we're going to have a nice orientation. The ball of the big toe on that back foot, I want you to have most of the weight bearing felt through that joint. Let's take the heel, drive it down to the earth. And then push back up onto that big toe, if you will. Drive back down. And push back up. And drive it back down. Hold it down. Keep it pushing towards the earth. Take your hips to head and make it long. Now, cup the fingers. Lean the body in. Extend the arms out. If you're bending for that front knee, I'd like you to create a different muscle activation. I'd like you to make that knee nice and straight. I'd like you to use the front leg, the right leg, to push backwards the hips and drive that left heel towards the earth a little more. As you inhale, raise the arms, and as you exhale, lower, and oscillate up and down. A few repetitions using breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. All right, bring hands over hearts, step the back foot forward, step the opposite foot back. Same setup, opposite side. Follow that big toe, right foot. Take that left leg, give me some straightness to it. Pushing left, back into the right, up and down with the heel. Rise up, lower that heel down.
Push back up, lower down, rising up, lowering down, up one more time. Drive it down towards the earth. It may not actually achieve a connection of the heel to the earth, that's fine. Now, hands cupped, upper body leans in, whoops, arms extend out. Inhale, raise, exhale, lower. Keep the motion going. Now, if you're feeling a lot of tension in the low back, that's fine. We're kind of targeting that region. If it's too much, you know, to back off slightly, right? Good. Now, hold up, hands heart, back foot forward. Good morning, everybody. Warm-up's nice and done now. We're all done that. Push your hands to the sky. So inhale, exhale, hold all the way down. Fingertips on the earth. Now, straighten out those legs. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Lift that back, sorry, that booty backwards. And give as much weight bearing into the heels. So, right now I've lifted my toes, the front part of my feet up off the earth. And I'm pushing with the heels and straightening the legs as straight as I can get them. Then I'm going to draw my hips back ever so slightly more. I'm going to try to pull down in my legs ever so slightly. It's okay to let your spine go into flexion. We're just working some of those back leg muscles. Nice, nice length down. Lower the front of the feet back to the mat. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Walk your fingers forward. And keep walking forwards. A nice release for those lats. Rib muscles, you know, nice length happening with those. Work the back's extension, draw that booty back. Inhale, extend to a flat back, make the chest proud. As you release the breath, let the upper body fold down. Step your palms onto the shins. Elbows rotate externally, palms push back, extends tabletop the back. Throw the neck. Take your shoulders and pull them to the sky. Keep the hands pushing in. Now push the palms, extend the spine, pull the shoulders sky, round the chest. On the release the next breath, fall down, walk out to plank. All right. It's a good chance to check in with your manicure. How those nails look. All right. Spread your fingers as wide apart as you can. So you have a big, wide base. Hand. Let's take the shoulders. Sorry, let's take the chest and let's drop into the shoulders. And then take your rear end. Now you take your, now we talk about tucking under, from a line on that. Let's do the same thing here. I like you kind of tuck under. It's going to kind of flatten or lengthen, depending on your perspective. That low back. I want you to lengthen that. I want you to kind of engage that six-pack muscle, that big, strong six-pack. Fire it up. Now take the center part of the back and pull into the sky. So we have a lot of flexion going in. And push away with the arms, let the shoulders drift forward. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. Lower the knees down, spread them to the width of the mat. Draw your feet together so the ball of each big toe connects as the heels. As we come into a wide leg child's pose, I want you to walk your hands forward. Now, tug of war. If you can use your hips to pull back, upper body, sort of pulling from the base of the spine. Now, let's use your hands to walk the opposite direction. So, all the way through the middle, just an effective knee length. Keeping a nice proud chest, all of that belly. Try to lower into the shoulders just ever so slightly more, but please do not stress the neck. This is not about stressing. It's all about the muscles. And the right muscles. All right, let's walk it back in. So we set the hands under shoulders. Separate the feet with the knees or mats. Fingers are all spread nice and widely. Let the shoulders, let the chest drop in between the shoulders. Take the back of the head, pull it to the sky. Now, the opposite of tucking is like extending. I like you to take your tailbone and roll it up to the sky. So we're going to arching that low back and the upper back, pulling the back of the head and the tailbone simultaneously. And while we do this, I'd like you to hollow out the pelvis. Pull it up and into the spine. Keep it pulling up and into the spine. You're going to reverse this. I'd like you to tuck under the hips. And let the head fall to the earth. Pull the center of the spine to the sky. And then reverse this. And then reverse. And reverse. And then come back to neutral spine. Let's take the knees up and off the earth, the hips to the sky. Step your feet forward just ever so slightly so you can assume a weighted position. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. Straighten out the knees. Lock them out almost. And then pull your hips backwards. Walk your hands forward. Inhale, extend to a flat back. And give you a proud chest. Notice the difference in proud knee or chest makes on the back or posterior chain. You get to emphasize that a little more. Proud the chest, pull the hips back, extend, extend, extend. And then release the breath, roll down. And then we unfold, sweep your arms to the sky. To my ceiling fan. All right, let's do it. Inhale, extend. As you exhale, lower the arms, shoulder height. Arms are facing forward, fingers separated wide. Nice. Now, draw the shoulders up to the ears. Take the back of the hands and pull away from the body. It's pulling backwards. So you're pulling out and you're pulling back simultaneously. Now, keep the shoulders in place. We want to make sure we're not drifting forward. We want to keep the shoulders in place. And bring the palms together on shoulder height. Push the palms together and then sweep the arms back out. So 2 motions, out and back, simultaneously. Drawing back the shoulders. Hands come back together. Sweeping back out. Holding back. Take the thumbs, rotate them forward and down, and then rotate them all the way up and back. Corkscrewing the arms again. In and out, breathing. Down and in, up and out. Do that a couple more times. Enjoy the journey. We having fun yet? Hands reach to the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, let the upper body drift back down. Now, walk out to plank. Walk or step back wherever you want. From the toes, let's push forward. Now, the angle in your wrist is going to change here. So let's push the heels back. If you're looking down, you can see how the angle opens up as you go back, and it closes as we move forward. So I'd like you to play it forward and back, and find the spot where it feels most comfortable in your wrist. Hold on that spot once you get it, and then I'd like you to hover low. And then push back up, hover high. Pull up and back to down dog. Let's play around a little bit here, keeping those fingers nice and widely separated. Let's take your elbows and spiral them inward. Let's take the neck and grow it long. Let's take your tailbone. We practice this further. Lift it to the sky, and then lock out the knees, straighten them, and then take your heels and drive them into the earth. Keep those knees nice and locked up. Keep the neck
decompress, right? Some of these compression behavior things happen when we're under stress. So I like to keep the neck decompressed. Push back under the toes, float back to your plank. Find that ideal spot, forward and back. And then when you get it, hover low. And then hover high. Go up and back. And step the feet forward. Inhale, extend to a flat back, straighten out the knees, and drift back to the booty. Crowd the chest as you inhale, extend. And as you exhale, unfold, reach for the stars. Woo. And then bring hands over hearts. I'm going to turn sideways to the mats so I can have a mat to stand on as I spread my legs nice and wide. Now, a lot of the times when we practice things, the behavioral movement patterns that we have take over. So what I'm saying basically is that if your knees are bent here, I'd like you to straighten them up. The reason why they tend to bend so much is that we spend a lot of time of our day with them bent. So it feels normal. So I'd like you to keep nice and straight. 3 connection points on each foot. Baby toes, follow big foot, heel. We've discovered that weight makes a difference, and that's how our body's positioned. So if we're inwardly rotated, we'll normally have a higher pressure on the toes. So we want to correct that type of behavior. So we have balance in the body, literally speaking. Now, I'd like you to take your left foot, I'd like you to push into it. So we're kind of driving the hips to the right. And then I'd like you to relax that and then take the right foot and push it. So we're kind of like rocking the hip down ever so slightly. So it's pushing away, yeah. So I'm pushing left to move right. Then I'm pushing right to move left. So the hips are kind of rocking forward and sort of side to side, not forward and back. It's like you're walking side to side. And then find equal base between left and right. All right, so I have my hands on hips. We're going to rotate. The palms open up. Our elbows are going to pull backwards. If you pull back with the elbows, I want you to take the chest and let it open and expand it. And then squeeze the elbows together. And as you do so, I'd like you to hold halfway forward. And it may not go exactly halfway down with all of that upper body muscle activation, but if you can find it, that's fine. And if you don't, give your best version. I'm going to do this a few more times. So, hold back, crowd the chest, lengthen the neck, hinge the hips. So my finger is just touching the side barely, but I really don't care so much about that. It's more about the activation of the shoulders. So let's do this one more time. Back with the elbows, crowding the chest, lengthening the neck, folding down, and coming back up, and then bringing the hands out in front. Up. My arms are tight. Now, extend. Separate, nice and wide. Make sure we haven't got any habits coming back into the knees. Pull the butt backwards, extend the arms out. Beautiful. Now, we practiced this earlier too. Raising and lowering. Let's do this 3 more times. Use breath. Yeah. Inhaling up. And slow down. Again, decompress the neck. It's the shoulder exercise. So if you're craning forward, compressing, you can feel the neck. Aggregate it. Just let's relax. Hold down. Open wide. Pull back with the palms, proud of the chest. Fold halfway forward. And then let the fingers drip down to the earth. Try as best you can to keep your back in extension. And with the back in extension, I'd like you to drift your body backwards. So we're changing where we're varying the weight. Where do you feel it? The heels, right? So let's give you some more of that. Walk it back. Keep those legs nice and straight. Walk the hands forward. So my thumbs, just for perspective, are just below my eyes. My neck is nice and long. So release the next breath and we'll let the upper body just float down. As far as spinal extensors, spinal flexor, there, what we're working on there. Maybe you can flex into the legs if you pull your butt. That posterior muscle. Posterior muscle of the legs, nice. Lengthening when you have extend. Flat back, tabletopping the back as best you can. Make sure that neck is fully long. Proud of the chest. Give you a nice proud chest. Take the right hand, reach down beside the body, and move the right shoulder to the sky. Lower down that right hand. Do the same thing opposite side. Window. So down, slowly. Raise slowly and oscillate left to right. Or alternates. It's more of an alternation. Now, as we practice the multiple repetitions, I'd like you to check in with what's going on in the legs, believe it or not. Yes. If your hips are drifted forward, I'd like you to pull back the hips and keep those legs nice and strong. Driving through the heels, up and along, past the knee, all the way up and into the hips. As we rotate the spinal column, left side and right side. Now, hold it down. Again, extend your flat back. While we're here, the back and extension, let's try to take the heels and push them away from the center line of the body. Nice. Now, relax that. Take the ball of each big toe, push it into the mat, and try to rotate it internal towards the center of the mat. And then relax that. Do the same with the heels. External rotation. Relax. Balls of each big toe down. Rotate internally. Relax. And then one more time, each motion. Externally rotate the heels. Relax, and then internally rotate the ball of each big toe. Relax, and then bring your hands up onto your thighs. And then use your arms to help assist yourself all the way back up. Okay, and your knees. All right, so now we're back up in a nice tall position. Let's bring hands out. Let's take your fingertips. And bring them together so we have a float hand, if you will. Now, in this case, I'd like you to take your shoulders, pull them backwards, proud out the chest, hollow out that belly, push the fingertips into each other, take your elbows and rotate them towards the earth. So your arms are completely extended. Now, pull back the hips, keep the legs straight. Should feel some tension forming in the hamstrings and then lower back. If it's too much, you can control the amount of lean. So lean forward more if your body can take it. And modify the amount of lean if need be. Just training to become strong, not injured, right? So inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, lower. Do it 2 more times. And then bring hands over our hearts. Step tall, sorry, stand tall, sit your feet in. Oh. Yes.
Time to go down to the floor.
It's time to go. What the heck? This is therapy for the body. It's time to go down to the floor. Okay. Get a hint. Working too hard. Take a big inhale. Sweep your arms to the sky. Pull forward, and then let's take it down to the mat. Oh, my goodness. Oh. This is not a signal that class is over. This is just a little bit of a retreat, a water break. Cheers to you, cheers to thou. Sue and
Mark. Gonna do it later. Okay.
What are you lying down for?
No, you said we were lying down.
Oh. Here comes the disruptor, Lily. Lying down, where's the love? All right, so. When we lie down, we're going to bring our feet out to the corners of the mat. Let's make the legs nice and strong. Now if you can flatten out the shoulder blades. A lot of times we have these inherent
well rehearsed, you know. Internally rotation behaviors like the shoulder rounding forward. I like you kind of reverse a little bit of that today. So we're sitting practicing on how to get the scapula, the shoulder blades, flat onto the earth right now. And it's simply by pulling the shoulders out from the center line of the body and then pulling them so that the shoulders feel like they're being pushed into the earth, but you're really kind of using muscle activation to achieve. So keep your legs extended straight and if your toes open away. Middle of the body, I like you to rotate so the toes aiming straight up the sky. Nice. Now, take your head and slowly rotate it to the right. Bring it back up center and slowly rotate it to the left. And the range of motion that you're exhibiting, continue to go left and right at your own pace. So is better. I think we're going to get a registration for any movements as you rotate the neck that may feel so low. And then when you find that, it may be on the left side or on the right side. Or not at all, which would be nice. It's not at all. But for me, it's on my right side. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do both sides. Is on the right side, I'm going to grab the right side of my chin. And I'm going to just put my thumb and finger together like a little brace. And I'm going to use it to slowly push under resistance, slowly push my jaw towards the earth. So this is like a PNM. There's a neuromuscular facilitation stretch. And then I'm going to use my jaw to help against resistance to push back up towards the center line. When I've centered out my chin, I'm going to relax that. Switch sides. Pushing under resistance as we hold it. You'll notice that if you're pushing into the sore side, if you have one, it would be a little more problematic. So I'm rotating back up. And we are done. Drop the chin to the chest. Pull each vertebrae from the neck down to the middle part of the spine, up off. So it's kind of like a modified crunch. We've rotated internally the upper body, and now we're going to rotate externally. Drive the shoulders down, open up, and then each vertebrae along the spinal column, all the way up to the head, make its own imprint with the mats as you come back down. Now take the legs, straighten them, lock them up. Let's take the feet and flex them. So I'm simply pulling my feet in towards the shins. I'm going to keep the flexion, and then I'm going to internally rotate the legs. So I'm pushing out with the heels, flexing with the feet, and rotating internally. And then I'm going to let the feet rotate back so the toes going back up in the sky. And I'm going to drive the heels out, locking out the knees almost, flexing the feet and rotating back in. So we'll try to put a bunch of things together and then come back with the toes aiming at the sky. And then one more time, internally rotate. To give a little bit of extra effort, hollow out the belly as you do this. And then relax, toes point at the sky, step the feet in. So that the sides of your feet are about the size of the mat. Your hips and your feet are not in the same line. Your feet are wider than your hips. I'm going to rotate the pelvic down, the pelvic girdle forward so that its tailbone is pronounced to 80 in the mat. And then we're going to reverse that. Rotating the pelvis, the pubic areas pulling to the sky. And below that, again, you just repetition, being knowledge here. Low back should feel like it's touching skin of it, and it's touching the mat. You're going to keep that. And then take your head. And we take the back bit up off the earth and drop the chin towards the chest. So we're in a modified flesh. Now, let's take the thighs. Keep the feet flat on the earth, but bring the thighs together. So I'd like you now to take the ball of the baby toe, the little toe. I'd like you to try to rotate it onto the mat. And then while you keep that rotation, like you extend the spine and lower the head back down onto the mat. Take the arms, reach them straight up. And then let's open the legs, relax the motion in the feet. And then let the arms drip down towards the knee, keep them nice and straight. And see if you can kind of give me a modified crunch. We're going to lift up, 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 and then drip back down. When we come down, I'd like you to take the chest and make it proud and widen out the shoulders. And when we come up, I'd like you to have the shoulders drip forward as the hands kind of pull you up and allow the crunch to happen. And lower back down. You'll know that this is a slow pace. Going up on a 5 count, and then lowering down on the same count. Make sure you return to the start. So open the shoulders. Remember, down. Fingertips reach forward, go up, 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 and then slowly lower, lower, lower. And continue to do this for a few more repetitions. Now, if you're not feeling this, try to increase the pull through the fingertips. You're going to get a deeper activation into those abdominal muscles, all the way up into the straps, the muscles of the rib, pulling, 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 pulling for a brief second, lowering down and widening out the shoulders. Take a second, just take a breath and reset everything. And then come back, reach up, 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 hold this time. While you fold, raise the arms, lower the arms. Continue to do this for a couple more repetitions. And then lower back down. Let the arms fall beside the body. Palms face to the earth. Proud out the chest. Pull the knees up and in. Now grab your knees with the hands and pull forward to back. So you're just going to rock them forward and back. And then bring your forehead up to meet the knees, and then rock and roll up to a seated position. Hello, everyone. Okay. Let's keep the feet or hip width apart, sorry, mat width apart. Let's bring flexion back to the feet, and let's, you know, we've kind of like given in already. It's like Sunday's over. Now, we're going to straighten out the spine. We're going to keep it nice and long. We're going to draw the shoulders up. We're going to draw them back. We're going to pull back with the elbows again. So we have this nice proud chest thing going on. Let's take the right leg, lift it up, move it over. Cross it over to the left, lift it high, and then move it back. So our hip flexors and our one quadricep are going crazy right now, aren't they? Yeah, let's do it one more time each side. Feet high, crossing over. Keep that staff pose long. All right, bring it back down. Hands over hearts. Lengthen, sorry, lower down and then lengthen out. So bring the arms above the head and then use the toes to point opposite direction that your fingers are pointing in, and then pull with both fingers and toes. It's a nice length of that whole body. Enjoy this for a second. So you release the breath. Bring the arms back and step the feet in. So the heels are close to your butt. I have a separation just a little bit wider than hip width. And then go for that whole big rocking, right? Full pubis to the sky. Now we've got that nice low back skin connection. We're going to accentuate that a little bit. I'd like you to take the tailbone and start to pull it off the earth. And then I'd like you to pull a little longer along that spine. The lumbar spine is going into extension. We're using our gluteals. I'm going to push you with my heels. So a nice stretch going on through the front part of the legs and a big activation in my gluteals. There's no compression in my neck, nor should there be in yours. Now, I'm going to lower down. So right now I'm on the middle or center part of my spine. I like you to try to make an impression of each vertebrae as you work your spine, middle down to the tailbone, back onto the mat.
like to use your 6-pack. To help facilitate the process and your gluteus. Now, rotate forward the pelvis. This is an anterior pelvic rotation. That low back, skin there up, lift it off the mat. The tailbone feels like it's got a lot of pressure on it right now. I'm gonna rock it backwards. Once I get that skin to mat connection, I'm gonna engage my 6-pack. And I'm gonna start firing it up. I'm ready to receive the cannonball in the belly. And I'm gonna start to push with the heels. And I'm gonna continue to try to rotate my hips, pulling the pubis to the sky, rotating inwardly as I begin to push from the heels and elevate all the way up to the middle part of the back, keeping everything else decompressed, even though I have a lot of activity muscle-wise. And then I'm gonna lower back down. This is a good gluteal activation exercise, which is why we're doing it. Like feel the muscle of the gluteals actively working. If you've got that sensation, you can register it. That's good. You want to try to emphasize it on this next and last. Let's begin the process. Pull the pubis to the sky. Once we got the skin of the low back on the mat, I'm going to start pushing with the heels, and I'm going to start firing up those gluteals. We've connected to those muscles. I want you to use them intensely, pushing, keeping any compression elsewhere in the body, and low, pushing high, pushing higher, pushing with the heels. Take the toes and the ball of the foot off the mat, and push, 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 and tuck, tuck, tuck. Get a big fire going on in that butt. Now, lower back down. Slowly. You're gonna feel this gluteal muscle lengthening out as you lower down. And this. Take the legs, extend them up into the sky. And then with the assistance of a towel or hands on the back legs, they can pull the legs in towards your body. So nice, long, straight legs, heels. Driving force away, knees almost locked out, tailbone lifted off the earth, pulling the legs all the way back, as far back as you can get. And then lowering down, vertebrae by vertebrae, it's not getting it. And bringing the right leg down first. And second. Pointing the toes and pull the arms above the head. It's pull along the body. And then bring the arms back, step your feet into your butts. You do another stretch. Cross right leg over butts. The hinge of the heel and the ball of the big toe being the thing that we're going to roll on over on that left foot. So I'm using the right leg to gently pull the left towards the earth. As my hip rotates up off the earth. So that's it. I'm going to send the left arm into the sky. And then I'm going to bring it directly back. So I get to reach overhead. And again, this is a decompression exercise. And if it's causing compression, don't let it. Pull with the fingers, separate them nice and wide, and pull that arm. See if you can kind of grow that whole side body. And while you keep that arm at full length, just like the hands of the clock, I can sweep that left arm down. That nice opening across the chest, sweep it all the way down, so it comes back to that stay up. And once it gets there, put it on it, back up. We move left, move right, replace it with the left, we're going opposite side. Rotating down, reaching up, reaching directly back, keep that elbow locked up, forward, so you're pulling left. So you're using the left leg to pull the right towards the mat. Don't go all the way down. That kind of defeats the purpose here. Let that Right knee floats, and then reach. And then same thing, it's like a can on clock, sweeping long, keeping that arm long as you can, for that nice opening from the rotation and that shoulder joint. When you get to hand on hip, lances, back up. Unlock the legs, pull the knees up and into the chest. Need it with the forehand, rock and roll from its back, up into a seated position. Extend the legs out, whatever width you want them to be at, that's great. Let's bring hands over hearts. And it's hard to imagine that time went by so quickly, but thank you for joining me.
Thank you. I wrote. Whether we had any reasons for that.
Morning, Val.
Hello.